And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean stay the night? Like, what do you mean? Ma peguei com lenho, não com cimento. Vou compreender? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. So as you guys can probably read from the title, today I have another story time video for you guys. You guys have requested for me to do more story times since I did my previous story time telling you guys about a makeup client that I had a couple of years ago. And I've been wanting to do story times on my channel more often, but the reason I didn't or I haven't been doing story times as much is because you guys know I used to live in Curacao. Curacao is very small, everyone knows everyone, so I am really afraid of telling a story and then people being nosy and like trying to figure out who it is, and you know that is not the intention of my videos. The intention of my story times is never to make fun of people or to belittle anyone. It's just a funny story that I want to tell that I have experienced. So that is the reason why I haven't been doing a lot of story times. But today I do have one for you guys, and it's a juicy one. So if you're interested in seeing that, make sure to keep on watching. Okay, so this particular story time happened about 5 years ago and it was crazy, but okay. So let me just jump right into the story time. As you guys know, or if you didn't know, I used to and still do people's makeup, like makeup on clients and stuff. I do bookings. So at that point in time, I was starting off my makeup journey and I was really insecure. I used to charge really like a low amount of money because I was just a little insecure and I didn't want people to like feel like, oh, I'm too expensive and I'm a beginner, you know what I'm saying? So that is basically why I was a little about it. So this client in particular, oh, also side note, like you guys know, I don't mention any names. Everyone has fake names. Okay, so this girl in particular, we're going to call her Brianna. Okay, so Brianna told me, or she messaged me on Instagram and she was like, hey, I heard that you do makeup on clients and I seen your pictures blah 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 on Facebook and stuff, and I want to book you. And I was like, hey, that's great. You know, I was super excited because as I mentioned, I was starting off and every time that someone approaches me to do their makeup, for me it was like the end of the world because I was super happy and hyped about it. So she messaged me saying she wanted to book and I was super happy. I said, okay, like what do you want to do? When do you want to do like the booking? She told me on Wednesday. Keep in mind the day that we interchanged these messages, like the day that she DM'd me was on a Monday. So she told me this Wednesday, so it's 2 days later. So I was like, oh, okay, that's awesome. She said, but if you can't, that's not a problem. And I'm like, no, but I can. Like, why would you say that? I can do it, like, it's okay. But in the back of my head, I already knew that I had an appointment planned with a friend of mine, ex-friend of mine, because she's a snake, so an ex-friend of mine. I had an appointment with her. We had to go to the movies on Wednesday because they had like a promotion or something going on, a special. So we were planning to go on Wednesday. But when this girl messaged me, when Brianna West messaged me and she was like, she wanted to book me, of course I had to cancel my appointment with my girlfriend to do this makeup because, you know, I have to get my money. So I messaged my friend and I told her, hey, like, I cannot go to the movies with you anymore this Wednesday. Can we reschedule? Because I just got an appointment, just got a booking from someone wanting me to do their makeup and, you know, I want to do it. So she was super understanding. She was like, yeah, girl, get that bag, whatever. Cool. So I kept talking to Brianna to like figure out what she wanted to do, and she sent me some pictures of some makeup, which I like because I like when people kind of know what direction they want to do their makeup in, because then it makes it easier for me to figure out what they want. So she sent me pictures. She was like, I want to do this, blah blah blah, winged eyeliner, blah blah, all that. I was like, okay, cool, that's perfect. So we set a time for her to come on Wednesday. I don't even remember what time we set, but let's say we set 10 p.m. because she needed to go to an event at night. So the appointment was at night. So she needed to come, blah blah blah. She said, can you send me the address, everything. I sent her the address, all of that. Perfect. So when I sent her the address, she was like, oh, you live very far. And I'm like, okay, where do you live? Because I don't know what's far for you. Because at the time I used to live in Salinas, which if you're from Curacao, you basically know it's not like, it's basically in the middle kind of Curacao. I mean, it's not in the middle, but it's not like far. I don't know. So I was like, okay, where do you live? And she was like, Santa Maria. So I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of far from where she lives. And then I asked her like straight up, okay, but do you still want to come? Or, you know, because if it's too far, I get it. So then I was like, okay, well, if you say you can make it, then you can make it. So boom. So then so then that was Monday, right? So then on the next day was Tuesday. I always text my clients. I still do this to this day. If we have an appointment, I text my clients the day before our appointment to make sure that everything's in place and that nothing came up and that the person can still make it to the appointment. So I sent her a message on Tuesday and I was like, hey, are you still going to make it? We have an appointment tomorrow. Like, is everything okay? Are you still gonna make it? And she was like, yeah, for sure. Like, I'm gonna be there. You send me the address and everything. I gave it to my boyfriend because he's gonna bring me, so it's all good. So I'm like, awesome. So on Wednesday, it was Wednesday night that she had the appointment. Keep that in mind. So on Wednesday, I was like, okay, I already canceled my plans with my friend. So I did everything. I set up my room, and keep in mind, my room was very small. So I had to like move things to make sure that I created space for the client to sit like comfortably. You know what I'm saying? So I created the space and did everything, put my lights up. Awesome. Then the time came that she needed to arrive. Let's say the appointment was at 10. It was 9:50 and I was like ready for her, waiting for her, everything. Then it was 10 p.m. Nothing. Then around a 10:15, nothing. So I was like, wow, she's late. So I'm gonna send her a text. So I messaged her on Instagram and I was like, hey babe, like, are you still gonna make it? Because you're 15 minutes late. Like, is something going on? Like, did something happen? And she was like, oh my god, I totally forgot I had an appointment with you today, blah blah blah. Like, I'm at the beach. And I'm like, at night? But I'm like, okay. She was like, I'm at the beach with some friends. I totally forgot. Oh my god. And I'm drunk, so I will text you later. I was so irritated. Guys, when I tell you I was so irritated, I was so mad. I'm like, first of all, stop fucking lying. Like, you're not at the beach at 10 p.m. with no friends. Stop lying. And then second of all, how did you forget? I texted you yesterday. You said you told your boyfriend and everything. So I was super pissed. And she was like, I'll text you later. I'm like, so I didn't respond because I was really upset. So I just kept it pushing and I just assumed like, okay, she scammed me, like she's not gonna come, whatever. So then the next day was Thursday. So she messaged me, I was at work. She messaged me in the morning and she was like, hey, like, I totally forgot. She didn't say sorry. She was like, hey, I totally forgot that I had the appointment yesterday. Oh my god, you know how girls are. No, I don't, because when I have an appointment, I write it down to make sure that I'm at the appointment. What are you talking about? I know how girls are. No, I don't. So that irritated me even more because she's like trying to justify what she did and saying it like, that's how girls are. No, that's how you are. But I'm like, okay. So she was like, yeah, I forgot that I had an appointment, whatever. But I wanted to check if you could do my makeup today. And I already thought that was weird just because she told me when she messaged me on Monday that she needed the makeup done to go to an event. So the event was supposed to be yesterday. So why do you want to get your makeup done today? Like, what is the reason for you to get your makeup done? Like, why? So I'm like, thinking about it, and I'm like, I really don't want to do her makeup because, you know, she ditched me. She made me cancel plans with my friend, like leave everything behind, stop everything, move my whole room so I could do her makeup, and then she just doesn't show up and tells me, oh, I'm drunk, I'm at the beach, I'll text you later. You know, so I don't want to do it, but I need the money, so I'm gonna give her another chance, you know? Maybe she really did forget, like maybe she totally forgot. So I'm gonna give her another chance. So she said, I wanted to know if you could do my makeup today, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, at what time did you want to get your makeup done? She said, oh, at the same time. I'm like, okay. You know, my room is already moved and everything is already set up. I don't have plans for today except for working, and I'm not working like that late. So maybe I could do it. Like if she doesn't show up, I'm gonna just block her and keep it pushing. So she messaged me. I messaged her. I got off work around 5. I got home around 6. I messaged her. I was like, hey girl, like, are you still gonna make it today? Because if you can't make it, just say that. I won't, like, it's not a problem. Just say it, and you know, I can do other things. She was like, no, like, why would you say that? Of course I'm gonna come, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, awesome. So 10 p.m. arrives. She is not there. And I'm like, Jesus, if this is a test, just say it, because I'm losing my mind. So I'm like, okay. So 10 p.m. arrives, she's not there. I call her, right? I didn't text her, I called her. I was like, hey. And she's like, hey. I'm like, are you gonna say something? Like, do I need to ask you, or are you an adult and you can say, hey, look, I'm sorry I'm late, but I'm on my way. Like, can you say something? Like, she just said, hey. Like, waiting for me to say something. I was so irritated. I'm like, are you coming? She's like, yes. I'm like, okay, like, are you gonna say more stuff, or is that your final answer? Like, how far are you? Like, something. So I said, okay, but where are you right now? She said, I just left my home. I'm like, okay. So I was super irritated, but at that moment I was just like, at least she's coming, so I'ma just do her makeup when she arrives, and then just never do her makeup again, and I'm just not gonna give her any more appointments. So that was my mindset at that time. So when she's coming, like, she's coming to my house, right? She's texting me. She's like, hey, when you called me, I was just about to text you that I'm on my way. And I'm like, okay. Then she said, what price did you say that you charge again? Which I already told her on Monday. So I said, oh, I didn't even remember what I charged back then. Let's say, for example, I charged 10 euros, which is not what I charge, but let's use it as an example. So I charge 10 euros, and with lashes it's 15, right? So keep that in mind. I said 10 euros, and with lashes it's 15. So she's like, okay. I said, do you want to do it with lashes or without? She said with. I'm like, okay, perfect. So I laid out a couple of lash options, because I have different lash options. Not everyone likes dramatic lashes. Some people like really chill lashes. Some people like long. Some people like wispy. So I put out a couple of different options, so when we get to that point, she can choose what she wants. So I kept it at that. Then about 10:30, she arrived. I get a text, I'm outside. I said, okay. I opened the gate so she could come in. She doesn't come in. So I'm like, hey girl, I opened the gate. Did you see the gate open? It's for you to come in. So she's like, can you come get me? I said, okay, you know, it's not a problem. So I went out to get her to the car. So I'm like going there, and she's not even like, I don't know how to explain this, but it's so weird. Like, if you're telling me, come get me, I expect that when I get there, you're already like grabbing your stuff to get out of the car so we can go back in, right? But when I got there, she was just like this, like in the car, like chilling, like with her head back, all her stuff. Like, she didn't have her slippers on. Everything was like in the car, like on the ground. And she was like, hey, like she turned around when she saw me in the window. She was like, hey. I'm like, girl, hurry the fuck up. You're already 30 minutes late. Like, what are you doing? Why are you so chill? So I'm like, okay, this girl really trying my patience right now, but I'm gonna keep it cool. So I said, hey, but I kept my face straight because at that point I was really irritated already. So I was like, hey, let's go. So she said, okay, can you wait for me for a second? And I understood that like she wanted to tell her boyfriend something that I couldn't hear or something. So like, what am I to? And I'm like, okay, why would you tell me to come outside? And then you have to say something that I can't hear. So I said, okay. So I walked back to the gate and I was waiting for her there. She got out of the car, she took like 30 seconds, then she got out of the car, she had her stuff, and she was like, hey, like, I couldn't find the house, that's why I'm late. I'm like, no, that's not why you're late. Because you're late because at 10 p.m., which was your appointment time, you were just getting out the house. That's why you're late. And she was like, yeah, but we couldn't find your house. I'm like, girl, okay. So we walk in, you know, I'm trying to keep my calm and, you know, keep my cool and stay calm, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be spending like an hour to an hour and a half with this girl doing her makeup. So I don't want it to be awkward or anything. So we're just walking in. I'm like, hey, okay, like blah, blah, blah. We're talking, chit-chatting, whatever. So we get in. I put my music before we get started. And I always ask my clients what type of music do they like, because I like to listen to ghetto ass music. So if someone is not cool with that, I'm gonna let them choose whatever they want to hear. So she was like, oh, I listen to everything, I don't mind. Perfect. We put on the music, we started. I started with her makeup because I already knew what she wanted, because remember on Monday she sent me the picture. So I already started with her makeup, like we're talking, she's super nice, whatever. And then she starts being on her phone like this. And I need to lift her head so I can look what the hell I'm doing. So she keeps going like this and I keep lifting her head up. And I'm like, girl, get the message. Just keep your head up. She wasn't getting the message. So I'm like, okay. So at that point, I was doing her eyeshadow. And when I'm doing your eyeshadow, your eyes are closed. So I'm super close to her face, but not really close, like where it's inappropriate, but I'm close enough to put eyeshadow on your eyes. So I'm doing her makeup like this, you know, and I'm not talking, because when I'm really in people's face like that, I don't talk, because I just feel like it's weird. Like I'm not gonna be spitting on people, like that's weird. So I'ma just, you know, do her eyeshadow, and there was music, so it wasn't like an awkward silence or anything. So her eyes were closed, I was doing her eyeshadow, and then she was like, I like that smell. I said, what smell? Because I didn't have perfume or anything. I took a shower, but I didn't put like no perfume or anything. So I'm like, what smell? She's like, I don't know, but it smells so good. I said, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like the room or something, I don't know. And she's like, no, like, she opened her eyes, right? She was like, oh, it's your lips. What did you say? What? Like, what? I'm like, I couldn't even laugh because I was shocked at what she said. So I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? And she's like, yeah, like, it's your lip gloss. Like, your lips smell nice. Like, what lip gloss do you have on? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. My mind just went blank because I couldn't figure out why you would tell me that in the middle of me being so close to your face. Like, okay. So that was awkward, but I kept it pushing, and I realized that it was only awkward for me, not for her. So that made it more awkward for me, because I'm like, oh, so you're comfortable with this? That's weird, but okay. Then she switched up from being this sweet, like, I don't want to say innocent, but then she switched up from being this sweet girl to being like a little brat. Like, she told me, she started like talking to me. She was like, oh, how long have you been doing makeup for? And I was like, oh, not long enough. Like, I've been doing it for a couple of months, and I've been doing clients for a couple of months, because I always did my own makeup. But now I started getting more into like doing makeup for clients and stuff. And she was like, oh, so you're a beginner. And I'm like, yes, I am. So that is why I like getting new clients, because I can train with different people, different skin tones, different skin colors, all that. And she was like, oh, oh. And I noticed that her complete demeanor and her face like kind of changed. It was like from to like oh. And I was like, I don't know what that's about, but I don't care. So I didn't ask her anything. I just continued doing her makeup. And then she was like, you know why? Because I always get my makeup done by professionals. And I'm like, then why did you come to me? So I'm like, and she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh yeah? Like, who does your makeup? And she started telling me these names, and she was like, this person does my makeup, and this person does my makeup, and this person does my makeup. And I asked her, I said, well, why did you message me? Why didn't you go to one of those people that you mentioned? And she said, no, because I saw your makeup and it looked cute, but it didn't know you were a beginner. Like, that's the thing. And I just found that really disrespectful and condescending, because like, you're kind of belittling me. Like, oh, you're a beginner, girl, you liked the makeup, what is your issue? So I'm like, yeah, like, what do you want me to tell you? Like, yes, I am a beginner. Like, so I didn't pay her no mind. Then I kept doing her makeup, and I kept like showing her if she was okay. She loved the makeup, everything was cool. At the end, I put on her lashes. She chose whatever lash she wanted. I put the lash on, and we were finished. So I was like, like, finally she can leave and this whole awkward session can be over. So I thought. So she was like, yeah, whatever. And remember, I told her the price was 10 euros and with the lashes it's 15. So I said, okay, like, I never charge my clients, like tell them pay me, because I assume that it's a normal thing. Like, you go to someone to get a service, and after you've gotten the service, you just hand them the money. Like, that's how it goes, right? So I don't say, okay, give me the money now. Like, I don't do that. So when I finished, I just started like putting the stuff away, like putting all the lashes in the box and doing all of that, like, so she can notice, we're done, you need to leave. And she kept just sitting there on her phone, like, and I was like, is your boyfriend coming? Like, is he gonna pick you up, or how are you planning on leaving? And she was like, oh no, he's coming to pick me up, blah blah blah. He's on his way, like he's 5 minutes away. I'm like, oh, perfect. So she's not paying, and I'm like, when is she gonna pull out the money? So I'm like, oh my god, this is so awkward, but I have to ask her. So I was like, okay girl, it's gonna be 15 euros. And she was like, for the makeup? And I said, yes. What else could I be charging you? So I said, yes, for the makeup. She said, why? I'm like, what do you mean? Because what? So I'm like, what do you mean why? Like, she's like, why 15? Because I have the message right here that you told me it was 10. And I said, yes, the message ref right there specifically says that 10 euros is for your makeup only without fake eyelashes, but if you want me to put on fake eyelashes, you have to pay 15. She's like, but why 15 and not 10? Like, I don't get it. And she started getting like really irritated and like kind of aggravated. And I'm like, is this girl trying to get punched in the mouth, or what is going on? Because I'm already irritated with you, so you don't get to get an attitude with me. So I'm like, just because like I told you it's 50. You know what, actually wait. So I pulled up my phone. I said, can you read this? It says 10 euros for your makeup without fake eyelashes and 15 with the fake eyelashes. And you chose some fake eyelashes that I put on you. You also stated it in the messages that you wanted fake eyelashes, which is why I asked you which one you wanted. You chose one, I put it on your eyes. So that is why the price is gonna be 15. she kept like staring like blankly like in the distance, and she was like, I don't have the money, but with an attitude, like with a stank face. Like she's not, I don't have the money. It was more like, I don't have the money. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't have the money? Like, so she said, I said, well, is your boyfriend gonna bring it? Because otherwise, how am I gonna get it? She said, I'm gonna ask him right now. So she was like, she was texting super like aggressively, and I'm like, I really don't care. Like, if you freaking break the phone, I just need my money. Like, that's all it is. I don't care, and I'm not scared. So what is up? So she kept texting or whatever. Then the boyfriend arrived, because it was only a couple of minutes away. Like, he was only a couple of minutes away, so he arrived, and she was like, he's here. And I'm like, oh, hey, like, are you gonna get the money for me? And she was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ask him if he has money. Ask him if he has money. Like, if he doesn't. So anyway, she went outside. She took about 5 to 10 minutes. She, like, I don't know what she was doing, because I feel like the question is very obvious. Hey, do you have the 15 euros? Yes or no? Like, why should it take so long? But I feel like she probably was telling him like that I charged her 15 and she expected 10 or whatever. I don't know. But she took like 5 to 10 minutes. Then she came back inside, and she switched up again from being the bratty girl to being the sweet girl that she was in the beginning. So she came inside. I already was hyped, because I already expected her to tell me that the boyfriend didn't have the money, and I was ready to punch her in the head. So she came in and she was like, hey. So she turned back to the sweet girl, and I'm like, are you bipolar? Like, what is going on? You can't just switch personalities like this. So she came back and she was like, my boyfriend said he doesn't have the money, but can I bring it tomorrow? And she kept looking at me like with sweet eyes, and I'm like, no, because I need the money today. And she was like, but he doesn't have it. And she kept like talking super slow, like the boyfriend was right there. And I'm like, why are we whispering? But she basically told me the boyfriend didn't have the money, and if she could bring it tomorrow. I said, no, I don't normally work like that. Like, when I do a service for someone, I expect to get paid the same day. Me as playing ignorer. So I expect to get paid the same day. Like, this is not what we agreed on, because if we previously agreed on a later payment, then that would be all right, but we didn't agree on this, and I feel like it's not fair for me to just let you do that, because then all my clients will want to pay tomorrow and the next week and the week after. So I can't just do that for you. So she was like, oh, well, I'm gonna have to go to the ATM to get the money, because I really don't have it. And I'm like, okay, it's okay. Like, there's an ATM like 3 minutes away, so I'm gonna wait for you. Like, it's not a problem. I'm gonna wait. So she said, okay. Like, in the back of my mind, I was thinking she's gonna scam me. Like, she's gonna go and not come back. Mia, ¿qué pasa, mama? She's crying because she's eating a snack, and the snack is so delicious. And she kind of throws the snack around and plays with it. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. But anyway, so she went to the ATM and she came back with the money, with the 15 euros. So I'm like, oh my god, finally, like, this is finally over, because I thought she wouldn't bring the money and this would have been like an issue, but she brought the money, so it's okay. Like, we're cool. Like, I'm not gonna do her makeup ever again, but we're cool because I got my money finally, and this is over, you know? So she came in, like, say this is the money, right? She came in and she was like, here, there's the money. Like, oh my god, I love the makeup. Like, it looks so cute. Thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. And I was happy that she found the makeup great, because in the back of my mind, I was a little insecure about what she said. Like, she only gets her makeup done by professionals. So I'm like, maybe my makeup will not, like, look good on her, because she's more like she's more used to getting her makeup done professionally, so maybe my makeup won't look as good as what she's used to, but she liked it, so I was happy. So then she leaves. Like, she comes in, gives me the money, leaves immediately. I'm so happy, I'm relieved, and I'm like, wow, like, this day is finally over. It was almost 12 p.m. at night, so I'm like, finally this is over, like I can take my makeup off and, you know, take a shower and go to bed. Like, ugh, such a long day. Boom. So I did that, cleaned my room, like put everything away, and I washed my makeup off, took a shower, blah blah blah. I got on my bed. But sometimes when I work like really long hours, or when I do a lot of stuff in my day that I'm really tired, although I'm really tired, I cannot fall asleep. So I kept just like, I was awake till about 3 a.m. I was still awake, just on my phone, like watching random stuff. So I was awake. I got a message from her at around 2 a.m. She was like, hey, are you still up? And I was like, this is weird, because why is she texting me right now? Because if it's for another appointment, I'm gonna just say no. But why are you texting me in the middle of the night? Like, that's weird. So I responded because I was awake. So I said, yes, I'm awake. So she told me she had just finished being at a party from a friend's house, and they were going to meet up in Salinha. So in Salinha, basically a lot of people meet up with their cars and just have drinks and stuff in there and just chat during the middle of the night, and just, it's just like a vibe. So she was like, so I just left my friend's house because she had a party or something, and we're going there now, but my lipstick has worn off. So can I come by and can you touch it up? I'm like, oh my god, like it's 2 a.m. Like, why would I touch it up? So me being my stupid self, I said yes, because I'm stupid. So I didn't want to say no, because I felt like, well, she already knows that I'm up because I said yes when she texted me. So it would be kind of rude of me. I don't know. I just was stupid at the time. So I said, yes, girl, come. So I was in my PJs. She came over. I had the lipsticks. Like, for example, if she used these two lipsticks, I had the lipsticks ready for me to put on her as soon as she walked through the door, so she could leave immediately, because it was in the middle of the night. So she came in and she was like a little tipsy already, because I could smell the alcohol from her breath. So she was like, hey, whatever. And I'm like, hey girl, just stand still, let me put on this lipstick so you can leave. So I was putting on the lipstick, and she was like trying to text somebody, and she was like, do you have any water, because I feel like my head is like light, like I feel lightheaded. And I'm like, yeah. And I felt like it was already weird, because first of all, why would you want to come at 2 a.m. to retouch a lipstick? That's weird. Second of all, why would you want to drink water? Like, I don't know, I just felt it was weird. So of course I said yes, because what do you want me to tell her? No, I don't have water in this house. So I said yes. So I said yes, I gave her a glass of water. She drank it completely. And then she was like, oh my god, like I feel so lightheaded, like I don't feel well. And it kind of scared me a little bit, because it looked like she wanted to throw up. So I'm like, are you okay? Like, is your boyfriend outside? Can I go tell him, like, or do you have his number that I can call him and tell him like to come get you, because you look like you're not okay? So she was like, oh no, I'm okay. And then she immediately started acting fine. So I'm like, were you lying? Like, were you acting drunk but you're not really drunk? Like, is that what is going on? Because she went from like, I'm so lightheaded, and when I said I was gonna tell the boyfriend, she was like, oh no, I'm fine, like I'm fine, it's not a problem, like I'm fine. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Anyways, so I'm like, okay, well, thank you for coming, like it was a pleasure, blah blah blah, so she can get the message that she needs to leave. So she was like, yeah, like me and my boyfriend went to this party. Like, she starts talking to me, like making conversation instead of leaving. So she's like, yeah, my boyfriend and I went to this party because a friend of ours had a birthday party, and we went there, was so much fun, blah blah blah, and now they're going to Salinha so we can meet up with some other friends and just chill, blah blah blah. We're going to get some food from the food trucks there, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like so much fun, like go have fun, I'll see you next time. And she was like, no, but I don't want to go there, like I'm really tired and I don't want to go, like I already been to this party, so I don't want to go to another like event and all of this, like I just want to sleep, blah blah blah, like I'm not really in the mood for that. But she didn't look drunk anymore, like she looked perfectly fine, she was just talking. So I'm like, okay, well then maybe you should tell your boyfriend that you don't want to go anymore. She's like, yeah, I just want to like go home and just sleep and like maybe watch a movie or something, but I don't want to go in a lot of people like right now. So I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I get it, yeah. Because at that moment I didn't really know what else I should say. Like, I already told you goodbye 2 times, you're not leaving. I already told you, tell your boyfriend. You won't tell him, you're just standing here telling me. I don't know what to say. So I'm like, yeah. Then she didn't get a message. I was like, girl, like, I love talking to you, but you know what, it's getting late and like I don't want to wake up my mom because we keep talking in here and I don't want to wake her up. So I feel like it's best for you to, you know, go, and I will talk to you later, you know. So she was like, yeah, but the thing is, you know, I wanted to ask you something. And I'm like, ask me what? Like, I already put your lipstick, I gave you water, what else do you want? So she's like, yeah, I wanted to ask you something because I don't want to go to like Salinas and stuff. Like, I'm really not in the mood for that. I just want to be, you know, chill, you know, talk, watch movies and stuff. So can I like stay here and my boyfriend will come pick me up in the morning? Because he's gonna go, like, it's his friends, like he needs to be there because the boys that are gonna be there are his friends. But I don't really like the girls that are gonna be there that much. Like, they're my friends but not like really close friends, so I don't want to be around them right now. I just want to do something like chill. Like, I just wanted to know if I could stay here for the night and maybe my boyfriend can pick me up in the morning. Like, it's not a problem for him. And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean stay the night? Like, what do you mean? I was genuinely confused. Like, I wasn't even playing, I was literally confused because I'm like, do you want to like sleep in my house? A stranger that you just met, you want to sleep here in this house right now in the middle of the night without an invitation? So you're just inviting yourself in my house. Okay. So I'm like, huh? Like, I didn't get it. And she started telling me the story all over again, how she doesn't want to go because like she's kind of tired, she just wants to like chill. And then she started like trying to convince me by like trying to act nice to me. And she was like, yeah, because since I got here, I feel like you're such good vibes and I feel like I don't have friends like you. Like, all of my friends like to gossip and blah blah blah, and I feel like you're not that type of girl. So if I stay here, we can just like watch a movie or something and just talk about whatever. Like, we can play with makeup, we can do whatever, you know, because I don't want to go there and like go drink and stuff right now. I just want to be like cool right now. So maybe I can stay here and we can just like chill a little bit, and then my boyfriend can come pick me up when he wakes up in the morning. And I'm like, no, like I cannot let you stay here because that would be inappropriate. Like, you're my client, you and I are not friends, and I can't just let you stay here. Like, I just can't. And then I felt super bad, so I started lying. So I'm like, yeah, and also I have to work really early in the morning at 6, which was not true. I started working at 10. But I was like, yeah, I need to start working at 6 in the morning. So even if you stayed here, like, I can't leave to work and you're here. You know what I'm saying? So it would not be possible for you to stay because I have to go to work in a couple of hours, you know? And she was like, oh, but I don't mind staying alone. Like, if you need to go to work, like, I totally get it. You know, it's your job, you have to go. I can just stay here. Like, your mom is here, right? So I can just stay here with your mom, and my boyfriend will come pick me up when he wakes up. And I'm like, girl, you are fucking insane. Like, this is the most craziest shit I've ever heard. So I'm like, no. Like, I'm genuinely confused, and I started feeling so uncomfortable, like so uncomfortable. I wanted to just dig a hole and bury myself in the hole because I'm like, what? And she was like, no. And I'm like, girl, you know, maybe you and I can, you know, meet up some other day, we can go watch a movie or whatever, some other, which of course I wasn't planning on doing anyway, but just to get her out my face. So I'm like, you know, girl, maybe you and I can just make an appointment and just plan something nice another day. Maybe we can go get like a cocktail or something, or watch a movie like you said another day. But for right now, you really have to leave because we keep talking, we're gonna wake up my mom, and also it's really late, like it's 2 a.m. and your boyfriend is outside waiting. Poor him, like he's all by himself outside, so it's best that you go and we will talk on another day. And she was like, yeah, like she was like really disappointed, like her face was like really disappointed. She was like, yeah, I guess, yeah. And I'm gonna say it in Papimento and then I'm gonna translate it so you guys can get the vibe. She was like, yeah, aqui que é assim, se bom que me queda, me queda, pero yeah, me queda assim. So basically what she said was like, yeah, like if you don't want to stay, I guess I won't stay, but I really wanted to stay, but like, yeah. So I'm like, yeah, girl, that's exactly what I'm saying, leave. So she left. When she left, I'm like, oh my god, this is the craziest girl I've ever met in my life, because she's bipolar. She has like a lot of different personalities. She switches up from 0 to 100 like really quickly, and I just don't want to ever talk to her again because she makes me feel so uncomfortable, like so uncomfortable. So I'm like, yeah, like that's a no-go. You guys, if you thought the story was over, you're wrong. You're wrong. She messaged me the next morning, which was already morning because it was like 2 a.m. So the next morning she sent me a message and she was like, hey girl, like I'm sorry, I don't know what I told you yesterday. I feel like I might have been a little drunk. What did I tell you? And I'm like, oh girl, look, like don't worry about it, it's all good. You didn't say anything, like it's all good, because I didn't want to like go over and tell her everything so she can be like, oh, I didn't mean to say that. Like, girl, it's all good, I'm never gonna see you again, we Gucci, it's okay. So I said, oh girl, don't worry about it, like it's cool. And she's like, oh thank god, blah blah blah. Okay, perfect. Then she said, she was like, oh, I really like the makeup, everyone gave me compliments about the makeup. And I'm like, oh my god, like thank you, like that's so nice of you to say, I'm so happy about it, like glad you liked it. So that was that. The next day she messaged me super mad. She's like, hey, and normally she talks like super sweet and she's like, hey girl, hey babe, hey sis, hey ma. So when she messaged me super like dry, I'm like, what is this girl issue? Like, so she messaged me on Instagram again. I'm like, no, this must be a nightmare, because why do you keep talking to me? Why? So she's like, hey, I didn't want to do this, but I really feel like I should, because I know that you're a beginner, but this is not acceptable. Like, you charge people for putting on lashes, and then it's only been 2 days and the eyelashes already fallen off my face. Like, I know you're a beginner and everything, but this is not cool. Like, you need to buy better products. I think she said something about products. I feel like she said you need to buy better products or something, because you can't just charge people for stuff and then the eyelashes falling off 2 days, like the eyelashes falling off 2 days later. Like, that's not cool, blah blah blah. Because I paid my money. I didn't want to message you because you seem like a really nice girl and everything, but I feel like I should tell you because this is not okay. And I'm like, bitch, first of fucking all, the audacity, like really the audacity. And second of all, what are you talking about? Like, what? So if you don't know, if you're a boy or if you're a girl that doesn't wear a lot of makeup or whatever, whoever you are, and you're not getting what the issue here is, I'm gonna explain it to you. When you go get your makeup done by someone, they put on a strip eyelash for you most of the times, which is an eyelash. It's not the individual eyelashes that go one eyelash on each one of your natural eyelashes. It's a strip eyelash. So you just put it on and it sticks. That's basically how it works. It will stay on your eye for about 8 hours, 10 hours, depending on the glue that you use or whatever. So it's not supposed to last days. That's not how it works. It's a disposable lash. You put it on and you take it off after the event. You're not supposed to go to sleep with it. You're not supposed to leave it on your eye, because how did you clean your face if it's still on your face? So it's not supposed to last a long time, like days. It's not supposed to do that at all. Like, I don't know people that put an eyelash on, a strip eyelash, and then go on days with the same eyelash. That's weird and nasty. But okay. So I'm reading this message over and over again because I feel like I'm being pranked. Like, this must be a joke. But then I noticed it really wasn't. So I'm like, this girl gonna hear me today because you tried the wrong one. Like, I had so much patience with all your stuff, and now you're coming at me with this. Like, ugh, I know you're a beginner, but buy better stuff. So I'm like, first of all, you're wrong, because the eyelash that I put on your eye is supposed to stay only for a day. That is how eyelashes work. Considering that you get your makeup done by professionals all the time, you should know this, because the professionals that you get your makeup done by use the same eyelashes. So I know for a fact it's not supposed to stay a lot of days, or days on your eyes even. So you should know that. And she was like, yeah, but you used the maybe you used the wrong glue, because this never happens to me. When I get my makeup done, my eyelashes stay for a lot of days. But she was just kept telling like weird shit, which I know she was lying, and she just wanted to say something to me because she was mad. I don't know about what, but she just wanted to say stuff to me. And I'm like, girl, why are you lying? Like, who is doing your makeup out here that puts an eyelash on your face unless you keep it for a week? Like, what? And I just got super irritated, and I was like, girl, like, ma peguei com lenha, não com cement. Like, what is your issue? Like, I used glue, not freaking cement. Like, it's going to come off after a couple of hours. It's a fake eyelash. It's not one of those eyelash extensions. It's just a fake eyelash. She just wouldn't understand. And I'm like, girl, like, bo assunto, you know, because at this point you just wanna like have a discussion with me, and I'm not having it because I don't want to get out of character with you. So like, if you feel like you were ripped off and you deserve so much better because the eyelash didn't stick and you wanted it to stick like a whole week, whatever, girl, that's your issue. Go to a botica, buy a glue, stick it back on, because I can't do anything for you. That is how I work. If other people put eyelashes on you that stay a whole week, that's awesome. Let me know who they are so I can go get my makeup done by them too. But me, when I do someone's makeup with a disposable eyelash, is for them to throw it away, or at least take it off at the end of the day. So I don't get it. I was super irritated with this girl because, first of all, you don't come to your appointment when you're supposed to. You reschedule, you come the next day. Then you come the next day, you're half an hour late. Then you come there at your appointment, you're all condescending, like, ugh, I didn't know you're a beginner, blah, 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 blah. Then you don't have the money to pay. Then you argue with me about my price. Then you leave to get the money and you come back with your boyfriend. Then you come back wanting to retouch your makeup at 2 a.m. in the freaking morning. Like, all the professionals that do your makeup, I'm pretty sure they don't do that. You can't just mess with a professional at 2 a.m. in the morning and tell them, hey, I'm outside, I want to retouch my lipstick, because they will tell you, girl, go to hell. But I still did it for you. I didn't charge you for that. I still did it. You come in my house at 2 a.m. asking for water, asking to spend the night. I still didn't be mean. I still wasn't mean. I still didn't do anything crazy. I still was nice to you. And now you want to message me like 2 days after, saying like all aggressive, like, ugh, like, I know you're a beginner, but buy better. Girl, first of all, look, I went off on her because I was already mad. So I went off. I'm like, girl, first of all, like, you were the one that didn't even have the money to pay. Like, what are you talking about? Because you came here talking about, oh, I only get my makeup done by professionals. But I know you're lying, because if you would have done your makeup by professionals, you know people charge extra for lashes. That's for one. If you get your makeup done by professionals, then you wouldn't know you can't come at people's houses at 2 a.m. asking for a retouch of makeup. Like, that is not how it goes. And even if people retouch your makeup, they're gonna charge you for it. it. I didn't charge you for it. I did it out the goodness of my heart. You came in at 2 a.m. disturbing my peace, and I still did it. You asked to spend the night, which was really disrespectful and inappropriate, and I still was nice to you. And now you want to come here acting all big boss, like, ugh, this is unacceptable. Girl, bye. Like, what is unacceptable is your behavior over all these couple of days. What is unacceptable is you not respecting my time. What is not acceptable is you not respecting my home, you not respecting my boundaries, you not respecting my price. That is what is unacceptable. So if you're really unhappy about the lashes, then that's your problem. I can't help you with that. Like, I was so irritated with this girl, like so irritated. And she read the message immediately, then she didn't respond. And then I kept seeing typing, stop, typing, stop. And I was boiling inside because I was really so pissed. And then she said, okay, ma comprendebo, which means like, okay, I get it. And I'm like, whew. I blocked her. I blocked her because I feel like if she would have messaged me again with some bullshit, I would have really gone out of character with this girl. And I didn't say any curse word, I didn't insult her, I didn't do any of that because I don't like doing that, especially with clients. Like, I'ma just say what I have to say, but I'ma keep it nice. But this girl really got out of, like, under my skin so bad that I did need to tell her some stuff. So after that, I never heard from her again. Then a couple of years later, I saw her in like the city. I saw her walking, and I was walking like this way, she was walking that way. And she looked at me and she was like, and I was like I was so mad. And when I saw her, like, all my emotions from that day rose up in my body. I was so mad. Like, who do you think you are? Like, I was so mad. But yeah, guys. So yeah, guys, that was my crazy client horror story time. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Mia sure did enjoy it. She wasn't born by then yet. Oh baby. Ugh, this girl. Ugh. I have a lot of more story times. I need to figure out a way to tell them without people being able to know who they are, because then it will be like, you know, you're trying to belittle people, you're trying to make fun of people, and it's not it at all. I'm just trying to tell you guys what I went through. So yeah, that is basically it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give me a thumbs up, leave me recommendations for future videos, and also this is the last video of 2020. Oh my god. You guys have been rocking with me. My channel has been growing. I'm so excited, so thankful, and I cannot wait to see what 2021 has in store for all of us. So I hope you guys have a nice change of year, and I hope that you guys spent a nice Christmas. So that was it. I hope you guys enjoy. If you did, please make sure to give a thumbs up. Tell them, oh, this is your thumb, baby. Thumbs up to this video. Also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And what else? Oh, follow me on my social media accounts. I will leave them on the screen, my Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!